Welcome to the Troy Stoeber Show. You don't have to listen, but you're going to hear about it anyway.
You don't have to listen, but you're going to hear about it anyway. This is the Troy Stoeber Show, and my name is Troy Stoeber, your host. Today we have a special guest, Matt Rogers, in the studio. Before we get started, we have an announcement about the studio sponsor. Cox Electric Studios are here at Willamette Falls Media Center in beautiful downtown Oregon City. Located in Salem, Oregon, Cox Electric provides residential and commercial lighting, circuitry and wiring design, installation, and repair. General Electric contractors for electric signs, fixtures, generators, get your fingers up, equipment, outlets, appliances, panels, and anything else that hums with electricity. They can be beached at 503-981-3320, online coxelectric.com. Cox Electric, let us remove your shorts.
Oh.
Matt Rogers today is a physical therapist here locally in Oregon City. Mm-hmm. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
We're going to get to know him a little bit. I have a few interesting questions for him, and then we're going to do our regular segments at the end of the show. So,
yeah.
Start things off, Matt. Tell us about your story. Where are you from, and kind of where did you grow up, and how did you get to where you are now?
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. This is great. I'm actually from Oregon City. I'm from right here. So my folks still live here in town. My brother teaches at the middle school, and
so you're a true
I'm
local.
a local. I grew up. In fact, this building, if we're talking about this building, was where I took like economics class because I went to high school here. So yeah, I'm a local guy, and I went to PT school out in Nebraska, and then came back and wanted to open a clinic in Oregon City. So I was actually fortunate enough to get that opportunity pretty early in my career, about 3 years in as being a therapist, and then I got the opportunity to open a clinic.
I got you.
Yeah.
So you started working, you got your feet wet,
Mm-hmm.
and then you decided you were going to be like a business owner a little bit. So you now currently, are you an administrator, or do you do like the actual clinical work of physical therapy?
Yeah, I do both. Yeah, so I do this, that, and everything. So yeah, I have a really kind of cool organization that I own now. Like I'm one of the owners.
Is this a franchise? Or
No, that's a good question. We get that asked a lot. It's more of like a partnership. So we think of it as like kind of like how lawyers partner together. We have clinics all over the Northwest. We have about 100 clinics now, and we cover Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and we're partners together. So we're the biggest physical therapist owned company actually in the country. So
very good.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's actually really neat. So
tell me about what's your business name, and
Yeah.
what kind of services do they provide, and kind of what's the clientele, the age and the type of patient you take care of?
Yeah. So Therapeutic Associates is the name of our company, and my clinic is Therapeutic Associates Oregon City Physical Therapy. My clinic, we do a lot of sports. We see a lot of orthopedic patients. That's probably where I've spent the most of my energy is putting into, patients that you see, kind of young athletes. I was a young athlete when I got kind of hurt, so I kind of relate to that. So,
see, that's where the story begins.
Yeah,
It's been said, research is me search, and so
Okay.
I think that if you maybe had an injury and you were really impressed by the therapy you got and stuff, that makes a big difference. So
it does. I mean, I was a football player and I'm kind of a power lifter, and so I had a couple knee surgeries. I'm still a power lifter. I guess growing up I was I was a little stronger when I was a kid. So
aren't we all?
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
But yeah, I had a couple of knee surgeries in high school and did some therapy, and it was pretty important to me to actually come back to Oregon City and provide a level of care that I feel like we really needed to provide here. It was there's a lot of good physical therapists, but there's sort of this next stage of like treating athletes, I think, that we offer.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, one of my questions was about the young athlete.
Yeah.
So I know that various school districts have relationships with physical therapy, organizations or entities. Are you involved with the Oregon City school district or anything, or what's your relationship like with them?
We have actually served different contracts at different times. So we had a contract with Gladstone, and we worked with them for a couple of years. And then Oregon City, we actually had a contract with them to provide athletic training there. We haven't done that in a few years, but that was a lot of fun, like spending time on the field and in the gym, like with athletes, like hanging out. I mean, that's, kind of full circle for me being an athlete at the high school. So
for the athletic department, you supplied like a athletic trainer or whatever, and so okay. Yep. Yeah, I mean, that would be a very unique relationship.
I still work with a lot of the coaches directly, and so like I know a lot of the coaches really well, and so we bring kids down. We actually have a service where we provide some free care to kids to come down and just like do an injury screen, kind of see what's going on. Last time we won is like a student to just be hurt and dealing with a nagging injury and not doing their sport that they love. So we just try and get kids down often and screen their injuries, see what's going on, and then
I think that's a wonderful way to kind of get people in the door, get people exposed to physical therapy, the benefits. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
good for you.
Yeah, it's been really cool.
What do you enjoy the most about physical therapy?
That's a good question, Troy. I think it's, and maybe it's similar to what you have. I think it's that person that really grinds really hard, puts in a ton of work, and it actually like pays off. Like when you walk through that with somebody, that's pretty powerful. Like PT sometimes is not fun. Like you have to work on something that's super weak, you have to work on getting it stronger, or something that's super tight, you have to work on getting it looser. And that takes some work. So it's cool to see somebody like invest in you as the clinician and get that in return. Like that benefit.
The therapeutic benefit, like taking people from point A to point B and seeing improvement. That's rewarding.
It's not even work at that point. You're just like hanging out with people and like watching them and their journey and like getting better. Yeah.
If they knew that you would do this for free, they probably wouldn't pay you. So
probably not.
We can't make that really publicized. I do have a question about your allegiance in terms of who you cheer for and so. So do you live in Westland or do you?
No, I live in Tualatin actually.
Oh, you live in Tualatin. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you like cheer for like Tualatin or Westland or anybody other than Oregon City, or do you like is that your alma mater?
So I have 3 daughters, and they're all going to go to Tualatin High School. So I gotta definitely root for Tualatin.
Okay.
But like if Oregon City was playing anybody else, I mean, come on, I can't root for anybody but Oregon City. Come on, go Pioneers, let's go. Yeah.
Do you at your current location? You've been there. For how many years?
Yeah, we opened, at the current location, we actually moved into this one in 2017, so we're about 4 years in. Okay. We've got a nice location on Molalla Avenue next to the Dutch Brothers. We've been in Oregon City since 2012, so we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary this year, coming up.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to go over to Tualatin and open a spot over there because you're closer to the girls, or
no? We've got some really cool locations over there already. So yeah. So
okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
One of the questions I have is about your qualifications. So
sure.
One thing I know about you that we actually share in common is we both went to Creighton University in Omaha, Nebraska.
I did know
and
that
so,
about you.
You got your bachelor's degree or whatever. Do you have to have like certain certifications to be a physical therapist and stuff?
Absolutely, yeah. So that's actually a cool story. I don't know if you know this about Creighton, but Creighton was the first program to move from the master's to the doctorate degree in physical therapy. So they did that in '96.
Oh.
I started.
So you're a DPT.
A DPT,
doctor
yeah.
of physical
Doctor of physical therapy. Yep. And so it's the same kind of, you call it a clinical doctorate, like a DDS or a DPM or in that kind of class. OT has the same thing. So Creighton's it's a really cool experience for me because they've put a lot of work in like, making sure the education is up to par to be a doctorate degree. So it's pretty cool.
You would think that they would have a lot of pressure on themselves because they're going to prove themselves and they want to make sure they dot all the I's and cross all the T's and
it was
great.
I mean, I was lucky to get in. I mean, it was one of the top ranked PT schools in the country when I went there. So. What brought you? I don't even know your story. What brought you to Omaha?
So actually, I grew up in the Midwest. So I'm from a little town in Iowa, and so I went to high school at a Des Moines high school.
Okay, yeah.
We kind of moved around a little bit, and then Creighton. So I was going to be in pre-health and Creighton had a good nursing program. And eventually I went to undergrad and medical school at Creighton.
Okay, cool.
So I don't know, what years were you there?
So let's see, 2006 to 2009.
Okay, so I was out of there. I was between 90 and 98.
Okay.
So I'm a little older. I got a little more.
You know,
I got a little more gray right here.
had a little less of this, but it's okay. So
Let's see. Before we go any further,
Sure.
I want to send a shout out to Willamette Coffee House. They're actually responsible for some of this hair that's lost because I drink a lot of coffee. And as you know, in West Lynn, it's like halfway between Tualatin and Oregon City.
Mm-hmm.
So actually,
yeah.
20 years I lived in West Lynn. I just moved to Tualatin.
Oh, you did? Oh, nice.
And I work here in Oregon City. So
We're like the same person. We're like the same person. I know. This is weird.
Okay.
And you're hanging out with some of my best friends, Brad and Casey, that own Willamette Coffee House. And like, you guys, if you don't go to Willamette Coffee House, please start going there because they're the coolest people in the world and the best coffee in Portland. So
they are. They're so nice. I stop by at least once or twice a week on my journey across the bottom of the city, and I stop in Long Bottom Coffee, and they treat me right. So
they're the best. And we actually, so Brad, Casey, and I, and my wife, we actually go down to Honduras and dig freshwater wells together. So yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do a separate thing on just exactly that because I saw that they're really big into philanthropy and giving back, and they do the toy drive Christmas time. It's really wow. Okay,
so
you know what, Matt? We are
so good.
We are like kindred spirits or something. That's really something. Okay,
I like it.
Okay, what other questions do I have for you? Tell me about your own personal workout. The Troy Stoeber Show is just in general about health, wellness, leisure, things that really center your life, provide you some focus and passion and inspiration. Okay,
I like it.
So one of the things I often talk about is nutrition and exercise and stuff. What is your? Because I know you do some powerlifting or whatever, but just explain to our viewers what you like to do.
I love it. Yeah, I've done a little bit of everything, honestly. Like I grew up as a power lifter, so like that's where my strengths are. Like literally, that's where my strengths are. I'm like a walking type 2 muscle fiber, so I can do that. It's easy for me. My body prefers it, but I like to push into things that it's not built for. Like I run half marathons, and I've run a full marathon.
You are.
Yeah, I'm not like that kind of. I'm not built for that, and so it's tougher on me. I have to train appropriately for those things, but I like the challenge of it. But my bread and butter is definitely lifting. I mean, I've been lifting since I was 14, so
that's awesome.
My personal workout is intense. Like I do a lot of deadlifting. I do a lot of squats. Like right now I'm doing this circuit where I do a lot of heavy deads, some front squats. I'll do some assault bike, hit the row machine. So it's basically like a HIIT format where I get my heart rate up and cycle it through some different circuits.
Do you just have like equipment like that available at your work, and you can kind of just do it when you have time, or how? For a lot of people out there, convenience is a big deal. I have a gym membership at a kind of a small little gym near where I work because it's where I can slip over there during the noon hour or after work or whatever. So convenience helps.
So I'm lucky because I do work in a facility that is fully decked out with like competition quality plates and squat racks and all these things. And so when you don't, if you don't have those things, it's not as easy to get a hard workout in. But at home, like for my wife, we built a home garage. We added a few pieces. Like we have a row machine. We just bought a new Peloton, so that's kind of fun. We're getting used to that. But then we have simple things like we have a couple kettlebells. We have I put a pull-up bar up.
All that stuff really serves to kind of round you out. I tell people, I like to just jog as kind of a maintenance. You used to do that outdoors. Around here, it's easier to do in the summertime when it's like beautiful out.
But nothing wrong with getting a little wet. And I mean, I like to run, and I don't.
There's not much insulation up here, so raindrops tend to collect up here, Matt.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
All right. Well, I tell you what. I have gotten a little flavor for Matt and his job and physical therapy. I have some segments that I want to go over with you. So the way this works is I share the computer with you, and we just start talking. the first segment I'm going to do this is a first time for it. It's called Random Wow.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, no. So this
Okay.
is what I found is all the other ones were getting kind of boring. So I wanted to just go with a random wow.
All right.
You just never know what you're going to get. You get to pick. Do you want bandwagon, perspective, or podcast philosophy?
Well, I want to know what this podcast philosophy is, so I think we'll have to go with that one. Yeah.
Let's see right here. Okay. This is something I probably found while I was surfing the internet at 2 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep and I was bored and I was just, wasting time.
Okay.
But this is what it says. Destroy the idea that you got to be good at artistic things to enjoy them. That every hobby has to become something you're good at. You can monetize it. A capitalist lie. Sing off key, draw poorly, write badly, do a terrible podcast. Life is I threw that one in there.
I figured.
Life is meant to be enjoyed, not monetized. You're not a product. Now, I want to emphasize something before we really delve into this. In the event, Nike or Nautilus or some Dick's Sporting Goods, somebody wants to come and just heap piles of cash on the Troy Stoeber Show, I'm not going to turn that away. Okay, I just want to make that perfectly clear. But yes.
Does it crush some of the creative spirit, maybe? Maybe, right?
I think the story is motivation
Right.
and, not to give up and do what you enjoy. So.
I mean, this resonates to me. I mean, like, I don't know. I didn't grow up in, like, the Instagram, movement and stuff, so I feel like there's a lot of influence on kids, especially to have to monetize things and have to, capitalize on your image and those kind of things. And
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like a sad commentary to see all these kids kind of what their really goals are. Because when I was younger, my goal was just to go have fun with my friends.
Right. Go play outside. Yeah. Like, see if you can spend all day just outside instead of coming inside. That was kind of a big deal. So, yeah, this kind of resonates a little bit, honestly, like the pressure to monetize everything, or it doesn't really speak to me and resonate as much, but I get it.
I feel like it just encourages you to try stuff. Pastimes. I mean, what some people think is wasting time, for other people is just like critical self-care. So, no, that's what we got.
I like it.
All right, we did random. Wow, look at that! You did the first segment. I'm so happy for you. Okay, that's the first time we did that.
Okay, cool.
Let's see what else we got in here. Catchy sayings. Oh, okay. So for catchy sayings, I was too busy eating lunch at Sherry's today to do catchy sayings.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna give you the catchy saying. Okay, because normally you click on here and then I got like choices.
Okay.
But because I spent a grand total of 10 minutes with preparation today,
Okay.
I'm just going to give you the saying. Okay,
Give me it, yeah.
it is an oldie but a goodie. Do you remember that one about I'm on a seafood diet? I see food and I eat it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's the catchy saying.
I kind of live by that saying. I mean, there's not a whole lot of food I don't enjoy. I mean, let's be real. So
I've heard that you can get by with eating a lot of stuff as long as you're willing to, put in some, cardio and keep yourself physically fit. So it's not an exact science. But.
Have you ever watched, speaking of Instagram, The Rock? He puts what he eats on.
What?
Dude, he eats.
Dwayne Johnson?
Yeah. So he'll eat like 14 pancakes every Saturday.
Wow. Okay.
And a pound of bacon and all these things. Like, so, but obviously he's burning the calories. So
some of these weightlifters will have thousands of calories every day.
Yeah.
So okay.
So I say enjoy the food that speaks to you, but.
I want a seafood diet. I've noticed that in the wintertime, I tend to develop a small tumor right here, Matt. And in the summer, I'm a little more active.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that universal or?
Well, yeah. Absolutely.
Excellent.
I mean, who doesn't enjoy holidays?
Catchy sayings. The segment is actually a nod to. Do you remember that Seinfeld episode where George Costanza remembers the perfect thing to say just as he walks out of the room? And he's like, I wish I could have said that. That is exactly what catchy sayings is for. And so, here at the Troy Stoeber Show, we care about our viewers, and we want them to be prepared with that line that's just going to be a zinger ahead of time. Okay, so that means you should tune in often so that you you got a witty comeback for everybody.
I should.
I'm on a seafood diet. I seafood and I eat it.
My grandpa had one. It was, who has more fun than people?
The Troy Stoeber Show is brimming with life hacks. Okay. The next segment is vocabulary words. So,
oh boy.
Now here's the thing. Again, just like all those catchy sayings are going to, eventually turn you into just a witty life of the party.
Okay.
The more you check out the vocabulary words on my podcast, eventually, after about 6,000 or 7,000, you should really sound intelligent and be a good communicator. So one word at a time, right? So
you're talking to a football lineman that has had more than one concussion. So we'll see how I do here. Okay.
The way the segment's called vocabulary time, and I'm going to read the words. And if you have already heard of this word, you're not supposed to pick it. Okay. So the choices are banal, and then capricious or mercurial. Both of those I didn't know what they meant, but I realized they mean the same exact thing. So I counted that as one.
Sure.
So if you want bonus vocabulary time, capricious and mercurial are the same thing. Okay. We have miasma. That sounds spastic. And we have specious, which also sounds spastic. So anyway, which one of those, first of all, do any of those, do you know what they mean?
I would say I should know what capricious and mercurial mean. I'm thinking, what does that actually mean?
So just a little background on vocabulary time. This all comes from USA Today, which is supposed to be written at a 5th grade level.
Okay. The other three, I'm going to just say no, but I'm super curious what specious means, because I see the word spacious and species combined, and I'm like, what does this mean?
Spacious and species. You are a genius. Okay. What it is defined as is superficially plausible but actually wrong. So it's misleading in appearance, especially in an attractive way. So I kind of just wrote this little note. It's kind of a little deceptive. It seems simple and plausible, but in actual fact, you're not on the right track.
Yeah.
So have you ever had a situation where you walk down the primrose path and they kind of the clues of your environment kind of all point to one thing?
Yeah. I feel like I feel like I have experienced that. Do I know what that is at the moment? No.
We need an example, Matt. We need an example.
Give me one more, and I'll think of another example here.
Let's see. This comes from being in graduate school and taking tons of tests. Okay, so a lot of times a question will start to kind of describe something that kind of rings a bell, and then a few more things that kind of support it, and then right at the end they throw in a zinger that has nothing to do with it, and so that's what I'm saying. That question was specious.
Specious. It does sound specious.
Spacious and species.
Well, now I know this makes a lot more sense.
If you were going to be running the ffootball, you would want to be a really good lineman.
Okay, that's a great
stuff,
analogy.
Right?
So you're running a almost like a fake play, really.
Fake play.
Yeah.
So you want to say run. Everybody's playing up near the line of scrimmage. The linebacker comes up, and then you throw a long bomb. That's specious.
Perfect. That's
okay.
Perfect.
You're just completely deception.
Yeah. Fake punt. Yeah. You line up. We're punting the ball. All of a sudden,
I knew a sports analogy would do it for you.
It happened today. There was a 73-yard fake punt in some game the other day.
Do you know who it was?
No. But I should know that. But I was very specious of that coach.
The thing is, you have to have a lot of confidence and a lot of guts, because
absolutely,
I tell you what, that's a high risk, high reward play.
Absolutely.
So anyway, being specious,
great,
especially in high school football. Like if you fake people out, that's half the battle. Right
oh my
there,
gosh,
Boom.
Awesome.
Specious. We learned
Specious.
something.
Now I know something.
There's going to be a quiz at the end, so I hope you. Our next segment is called Art Vault.
Art Vault.
Art Vault is presented by Willamette Coffee House. So,
which I'm sure they have some kind of special for Christmas. So go down there this week and get your Willamette Coffee House coffee.
Bring your toys for the toy drive. Let's see. We got choices of card decks, Frida, hyper-realistic sand sculptures, or Vietnamese photography.
So card decks, because do you know who Chris Ramsey is?
Now,
So he's a magician on
is
YouTube.
he one of those like people who does the?
Yeah. He solves. He's like my daughters and I, like, our favorite thing on YouTube. He solves puzzles on video in real time, but he's a magician, and he always highlights a special rare card deck. So I love card. This
Okay,
is
you know
great.
what?
Yeah.
This might have some potential for you, my friend.
This is great.
The Art of Play is a company that makes these kind of specialized, unique decks.
Wow.
And so the bottom line is you can go play with your typical bicycle, or what are those, like regular, ordinary ones that.
Yeah.
Or you can pay, $20 or $30 for a really nice fancy deck, but you can see the extraordinary art
That's amazing.
that is involved with this stuff. So they have like lots of colors, lots of patterns, lots of themes to them. So
Yeah, there's a brand new one that Chris Ramsey himself actually designed called First. That's his brand. It's
okay, I'm gonna have to look this up.
look him
Chris
up. Look him
Ramsey.
up. It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll probably have to cross-reference the Troy Stoeber Show for all of his publicity.
That's exactly what he's doing. This one's really neat. So this is
all
Joker
these
and the
colors.
Thief.
So if
Yeah.
you just go online, the Art of Play, they'll give you all kinds of stuff. Joker and the Thief. We got, I don't know what that one is.
Fulton's looks like.
Fulton's.
This is crazy. See how far they've come?
Look at that.
That's amazing.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Like they have it's like in relief. It's like a embossed on
Yeah,
there.
I mean it's like a work of art, like you're saying.
It's a beautiful work of art. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to just play with ordinary, cards.
Well, you almost
anymore.
don't want to open these. I mean, you're kind of like you're like.
I know. Well, that's why I actually like the photography. Like some of these things, like look at that. It's
like
just
a maze,
gorgeous.
yeah.
It's like a little labyrinth and stuff like that.
I wonder what the.
And here's
oh man.
like see how the theme gets consistently, put through the whole cards and stuff like that. So
it's so good.
Forbidden Forest. But somebody did some beautiful art photography in kind of doing all this advertising. But
It's
nautical
beautiful.
themes, see?
Yeah.
You got who's that guy? Captain Jack.
Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, Jack Sparrow. What's that? Dinosaurs?
I'm a dinosaur guy, so that one's awesome.
Okay, so we know what your stocking stuffer is going to be.
Yes,
is that right,
please.
Matt? We'll
Yes.
just put some hints out there.
Yes.
Wink,
My
wink.
brother. Give me some dinosaur cards.
Look at that. Isn't that so cool? And look, like the artwork on the card itself, like these
man.
face cards and stuff. Isn't that beautiful? This is like a
I need to
little
make
bit
some
of a
investments.
unique. See how that all comes out?
Oh, that's
like
great.
it's not just
Yeah.
a regular
No, it's amazing. It's art. That's what it
It's
is.
art.
Yeah.
That's why they call
There's so
it
many
Art
different.
Vault.
Yeah. There's so many different kinds of art that we don't.
Presented by Willamette Coffee House. There's so many different kinds of art, and you can appreciate that. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
like
I do appreciate that.
it almost makes you not want to open it.
I know. No, like I'd almost like rather like stack them on a wall, and just get them organized on a shelf.
Or just take pictures of it like this photographer did.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you know any card tricks? Like, can you do the?
No,
Yeah.
no. There's actually a name. There's a name for those guys. They have like a. It's like how parkour is like you move. There's like a name for those people who do those little, and they're not really magic tricks or puzzles, but they're
Yeah.
just more like entertain. Like they'll just flip things or you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, kind of like a magician. Like yeah,
What is the name
but you're
for
right.
that?
There is some kind of name for that.
Okay, somebody go to the mailbag and send us what that is called. And that'll do it for another episode of the Troy Stoeber Show. We want to thank Matt Rogers for coming in today. He's with Therapeutic Associates, and he's a physical therapist, telling us all about what he does and what his passions are. The Troy Stoeber Show will be broadcast each month on this station, and so we appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, thank you so much.
Thank you.